Welcome to the Americans Helping America Chamber of Commerce agency here from Sacramento, California, USA. My name is Dr. Hillman Henson, and I'm just following up a few brief on certain topics and issues that are very, very important to our community nationwide. And when I'm talking about this program, I'm talking to all different diverse communities and also American people. And a lot of people say, why is American people involved in these kind of things of adult adoption? Anyway, I will brief on that area. But anyhow, I wanted to just to clarify a few small things before we go any further. Under the National Restores of Family Connections all over the United States, and as you know, we have talked about this a while back, and I mentioned something about during the 1964, the law of the adult adoption came out, and since then it hardly been utilized or used by the people because of lack of knowledge and also not understanding how to go about these things. And it's just a little bit of complication in there, but it is this agency has studied everything and be able to utilize this program and make it very successful. But I'm just going back to the National Connection of Families report during 2012. Between the age of 25 to 55, here in American citizens, people here in America, there are 12 million of those people that never been adopted to any family, and here in America. And you can imagine all that. And out of that amount of people, with how many children belong to those people that grew up and not connecting themselves to a family. In other words, no grandparents or any of those things to know their families except their parents. They know their parents. So that is a kind of situation, and we know the parents, if they end up not being adopted to any family or anywhere, that means they must have some kind of a disconnection or problem that was not really quite make them a much more a successful person in their own rights, which that's where most of the things that we see here. And the findings of that in 2012, that 73% of the homelessness in America has come from all these lots of people here, either be their children, grandchildren, or either be the people themselves, as you know that. So there are different age group on that. And also 71% of that in the home hospitals with the mental capacity. This is the things that I'm talking about, how scary that is. And also, and 69% of them end up in jail, criminalities and all that kind of activities, because their life, it just doesn't matter anymore. Who cares? Do you see what's happening? How much costs the government trillions of dollars to keep up with those areas here? I know the government is trying to release a lot of people out because they cannot afford to keep them in jail or good behavior or any that sort of thing. But if they have mental illness problems, they're going to be around for years and cost over $100,000 for each person to try and maintain them. And if you maintain them in jail, there's $65,000 for each person. How much money is that we're talking about here? There's 12 million of them, and there's 75%, 73, 65%. We're talking a few millions of them in there. 65,000 each apiece for the child, 150,000 apiece to go into the hospital and all that kind of thing. That is got a lot of money, billions to trillions. So that is what's happening with people who are become adults and not being adopted to any family. Let's wind ourselves back here, because adult adoption here is pretty much giving the rights to anybody. The rights to anybody to be adopted under the law of the United States of America in every state. Every state have a different requirements, different procedures, but in the same manner that people can be adopted even after the age of adults, when they become adults and so forth. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is, because I have already repeated this talk about months and months back, but I just wanted to update in certain pieces of the law, some of the children of these adult people, they become adults themselves, and they've been brought up in a different places, like they've been going through the foster system, they've been going through different parents, and they grew up and over the age of 18, they wanted to come back to their own parents. They wanted to re-adopt it back to their biological parents and all that sort of thing. And it's pretty much the law is allowing this to make sure that the conciliation and restoring families and all that kind of thing is happening. And also some of the people that's been adopted, been dismembered by adoption, by adopting other people, and now wanted to adopt back to their biological parents once everybody started to see the lights of what's happening. So that's what we call adopting back America. That's what it is. So adopting back America is a law that's been established as adopting back for anybody who's a citizen in America. For example, Polynesians, Chinese, any other Mexicans and all that. If you have children that was brought up in a different country that's not part of you, and you're here in the United States, and you're not having an opportunity to bring them over here, but all of a sudden they turn up here as an adults, and you're married to somebody else, not their mother or their father or whatever the vice versa the situation is, it's pretty much clear, the law, that you can go ahead and re-adopt them back. Even though you probably still inherit your same name. It doesn't matter. It's the way they were brought up. They're brought up in a different place, which they don't. Just like any Americans that have been going through the foster system and never been adopted any family, they still inherit the names of that family, but never been brought up with you. So because of the rights and the rules of the government and the rights and the rules of every different governments, it's need to be a re-adoption back to make sure that person is coming back to your own rights as a parent or as a father and a mother or a son. And that's part of the agreement as an adult. So I wanted to touch on this because those who have children, even some people have children, unborn children with not marriage, under the marriage covenants. They are the best place, and if they agree to adopt back, to become a part of your life, become your father and a mother to your new wife now, or whatever the situation may be, it's all about having an agreement over the age of 18 to have an agreement to go through the whole adoption process. So everything in adoption is pretty much open. Why is it pretty much open? And only take 12 months for somebody who don't know somebody that they said hang around and know each other and be friends. It's only a period of 12 months, and you're allowed to go in with an agreement and adopt each other and agree to go through an adoption process. So the law of adoption is a uniting of people, bringing people together, showing our love and our courtesy and our respect for every individual person. So that's why I was bringing this adoption, and just to update with those who have children, those who have other children out of marriage and all that sort of thing. It's a time to bring them into your life, either your wife or your husband or any of those situations. It's called a step adoption, and also an adoption of people who want to be. So adoption is pretty much open. It's like a football field. It's pretty much open. The law has been made for people to move around in their own rights to connect to who they are. I'm not talking about gay and lesbian marriage here. I'm talking about adoption of people. I don't know how the adoption of people goes through when two sex going together through the adoption or that stuff. That is not what I'm talking. I'm talking about a parent, a husband and a wife. The legal process of the way we define those things. So either be adopted by a father or a mother that's straight on as a mother as a woman, a father as a man. That's where I am talking about these things, and I feel like this is the best way for people to be adopted and be able. That's what America has started from. This is America. It's a whole diverse community. People build up from everywhere to make this country a better country. And because with this, we need to adopt people, to make people connect to somebody, have a connection. Then you know that you have some future in you. Then you know who to talk to, a peer, or somebody will help you. That's what it's all about. Because if you don't have a connection, then you become nobody, then you don't care, and whatever the problem is going to happen. And also financially, it's really, really, really put this country in trillions of debts into this area which it should be helped to minimize the problem, minimize the mental incapacity, also minimize the homelessness, and it could make a big difference. But we have to, it's only up to the people, for the people, by the people, to go in and do those things. It's not for the government, got enough to do with that. The court is helping so much everywhere to help this, because they can see how much problems that's happening everywhere due to this problem here, where people are not adopting or connected to any family. So this is the part I'm trying to talk, the healing process of trying to help the American people, and those who are in America, the citizens, would reach out to all your diverse community or anybody you want to help. Anybody who's in a part of your life and you feel like that you want to bring him to you, close to you, or anything to do with that, this is the time to do those things. We do adoption for the American citizens that never been adopted to any family, and it's a very short process, and helping them to become better people and become somebody, and their children will be much happier because they're going to have a grandfather, and how wonderful that is. How's that going to help a person? Knowing that you belong to something bigger than life, something going to make your life happy. And then you grow up and you have children, and your children will know that I have a father, I have a brother, I have a grandfather, and I have a great-grandfather. That is a wonderful feeling. There's nothing more important in life just to have those connections. Anyway, that's part of those things, and it's part of the things that we're looking for. And for all the other diverse community that come into America, the citizens, help them and work with them, allow them. Immigration is now sitting there waiting for us, seeing that if we can be able to utilize that law, because it's make their job easy. They don't have to worry about it because you're here in America. Everything is done here in America. Everyone here is adults. Everyone here has got a job. Everyone here is already know the rules, the regulation, everything. They're familiar with everything. And everyone here is going to be very successful because the Chamber of Commerce here is going to build them, it's going to make them, it's going to develop them to become a very successful citizen at the end of the whole process. So therefore, don't forget, see our number on the bottom, call us and talk to us so we can be able to direct you and help you and solve your problem and make your whole life and your family happy, and you'll become a happy person. And that's what it's all about. The American citizens is to help one another be successful in your own rights. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the family foundations. So family foundations is very important. How the process of the adoption, because we know adoption is like a moving from one family to another, moving from one kind of a culture to another, and whatever the case may be, but still we need to tune in to get the father and the children and everybody kind of work together, financially develop themselves, building a foundation that make them more successful and work together and be successful, and that's what it's all about. And we're going to come back and talk about that very shortly. We'll be back. Welcome back to our part 4 of our programs about adult adoption and also the AHA Chamber of Commerce developments of the adoption and going through to become a successful citizen. We do not believe that we develop people to become a citizen. The word a citizen is not in our book. It's not in our procedure. It's not in our visions. It's not in our mission. Our mission is to make everybody to become an successful American citizen. The word successful American citizen. And that's what the developments that we're doing in this program. Anyhow, let me go in and I'll start talk a little bit. When a person is adopted and we have all these programs that go in, your name will be going in and you pick up all your birth certificate, court order, and then go in and get your Social Security, temporary Social Security, and your name is going into the immigration ready to open up a new file and a new record for you. The rest of the process is done by this agency, developing the person, developing the family, especially the adopter, the adoptee, and all the rest of the family to come together and work and become successful and put models in those areas. That's why we are profiling everybody and also bringing the family or the adopter and adoptee to start off this whole process. Sometimes I adopted many, many children. So my many children is going to create a whole lot of wealth around me as a foundation. So for an example, my name is Dr. Hilleman Hansen. So it's going to be a Hansen Foundation. A Hansen Foundation, which I already registered. And in my Hansen Foundation will have a whole list of all my adopted children, a list of my biological children. They're all going to be there. And any of my grandchildren over the age of 18, they are part of them. So that's really create me a very good foundation with a whole lot of potential in it. With that, we started to organize some kind of investment program to build up that foundations. That foundation, we do fundraising to build up a capitals that we started to move along and work together and start building that foundation. Really, with my family, we're looking at around about $5,000 to $6,000 a month that's built by my adopted children and my children, and working together. And we have fundraising once a month, and we do a whole lot of put together. And that foundation becomes so powerful. We put insurance there. We put investment insurance in there. We put accident insurance. All that thing is protected, and it's worth millions of dollars in there, and we only pay a few hundreds of dollars every month. But we have a collection that's we move on a $5,000 to $6,000 a month. So really, it's built up a very high potential that we can loan millions of dollars from any finance institute. And then we build up our foundations and also our children to make sure that they do have a good home. They make sure our grandchildren will have a good school to go to. So it's got plenty of funding to help them along without them suffering. $100 each a month from each family putting together on this area here, and also fundraising for $50 a piece putting in. And then the rest of their time, they just do whatever they want to do their own saving, do whatever they want to do. But this foundation create jobs, create business. Whoever want to go into business, we can open up business. We can go into so many things. And also the children and the grandchildren, the future is going to grow, and it's going to be prosperity in the family. You know, if you look around and do a little bit of research around a lot of foundations all around here in America, how many millions they're worth now, and how many millions of dollars they give away because they grow so much in dollar values. So you can see that there is a very, very good opportunity for people to be able to grow and become successful by organizing a foundation. But this is what we do with the people who go through the adoption, to allow them to develop, to allow them to grow, and we put them in the right direction. So a person that become a foundation like myself, I can so encourage to go in and adopt as many as I can, because I have built a foundation that's worth millions of dollars, that every person I adopt, they inherit that, they contribute to that, and everybody is going to live wealthy. And I love to help people. I love to make them wealthy. I love to have those children of mine, and they can appreciate what I'm doing and also leave a good legacy in my life out there for my future generation. So I am very, very happy with that. You know, let me give you a little scenario of myself. The amount of children I have at the moment, total up with my children and my grandchildren, it got me up to about 126 members of my children under mine. Children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I do have great-grandchildren, and I'm only 63 years old. So you can see the promise and also the blessings that I receive from those things. It's make me very powerful, make me very appreciative in life, and make me feel so good. And one day I will depart this life, I am so happy, a happier person. Whether I live on or whether I die, it doesn't matter to me, because it's already make my life worthwhile. So that is a part of the foundation. It's a legacy for me, and I feel like I feel good. And if everyone going like we are doing now with the tops, everybody build up their own legacy, build up their own foundation, build up a prosperity and a future improvement and financial capacity to everybody to grow in life. So there you go. We also have an investment program that individuals like to go on and do their own investment program. We have that. Also, we don't really make money as an agency, but also we want to build them to become successful in their own and be able to have the taste of running a business. So, nowadays, unemployment is very, very tough, and everybody was looking for to be employed by anybody. See, those days are gone now. We need to have our own business. We need to run our own business. If you're going to be employed, one day you're going to be out of work, you're going to look for work, be lucky to get a job. But if you're going to run a business, start up a business, especially when you have a good foundation and a lot of investment in there, everybody can do business. Everybody can be successful. It get me to think about Joseph of Egypt in the Bible when he started all these things in Egypt, how everything's so bright and how he can see to start up a foundation like that and brought in his family into it. We can have all the goods in the world and everything else, but if we set up a good foundation, it'll make everybody wealthy, and we can see the prosperity that help our family and also our friends and everybody else. So there are a lot of investment we can do, the individual investment. Everybody can go into investment. Our organization and our agency have built so many stock shares in all our projects, trillions of dollars of stock shares. So we can allow people to have some stock shares to build up their foundation, to build up their family, to allow them to grow, to kickstart a business, kickstart anything that will bring life to their family and bring their financial standing to a much more better ground. We need to look into those things. We need to understand that things are very, very important. Family get together once a month, have fundraising, put together something like that. It's help them, and also we enjoy being together and enjoy building a good report of what we're worth and what is going to happen, because your children and my children and everybody's children, when our great-grandchildren grow up, they know they're going to get a better future because Papa has already got a good foundation to give them more and better education, and they can go further in education and become successful in their own rights. So foundation and investment is a very good thing that we need to go there and start working on that. And that's what it's all about. It's working and building our families and our foundations for those who are in the Polynesian or Pacific Islanders point of view, or any of those diverse community or the cultural background of yours. Authenticity is always a part of what we believe in our family, things that we know best and we do best, and we can be able to create something out of that and make some investment and grow from there and become successful. So there you go. Family foundation and developments to become more successful in the future is all dependent on us. And that's the reason why we're using all these programs in there to make every adopted person that come into this country, to give them a better opportunity, to develop what we call, in other people said, illegal aliens, to become a successful citizen. How good can it be? We see here in America how most of the citizens are homeless and all that sort of thing. We don't want to see that happen here. We want to make them to become a successful citizen so they can go out there and help the homeless in America and be able to build that up and be able to be appreciative for opportunity to become an American citizen. And that's what it's all about. It's all about helping one another, all about sharing, loving, and building it. I love you, I adopt you, and put you alive. You turn around and have to do that your own. All right? So that's what is happening, and I hope that you really enjoy the family investment program and get to know where you're at and get to know what it's going to do to you and your family. The family performer of that area, when we set up this performer part of that family or that foundation for 1 year, and then we get to a projections of how the family is going to be in the next 10 years, it's a multi-millions report that's come up from that. And how good that is, how focused that family, how everybody is going to work together because they know life is going to be much better. My children is going to go to any college, university, wherever they want to go. I am so happy to say, take where you want to take. I am going to finance you to make sure you reach your potential in life. Full of surprising. And I'm saying to you, I am so happy to tell you, and that's the part 4 of our program, and we'll come back to part 5 to talk more about certain things that are going to bring us together. It's what we call authenticity. Authenticity is another word I want to bring that we can share, how we can develop that to become more successful in our family. There's so many ways to do things that we become successful. There's an old saying said, there's so many ways to skin a cat. So there's so many ways we can make things success in the whole life. We'll come back and see you shortly. Welcome back to the fifth part of our program. And the topic that we wanted to introduce to you and part of our adoption processing, so many good things with the adoption. It's wonderful because it's giving new life, breathing on new developments and things that are going to help people to become successful. Anyway, the word authenticity is what we brought into this part of the program. In other words, it's got to do with the products in the community from coming from all over the world in different ways and how they used to perform in their own culture. Authenticity is something that we make by hand, something that people are specialized in it for many, many years and pass through history, pass through heritage, and people are very specialized. In certain families, they do certain things and they're very, very skillful in that. And they become so powerful that not university can be able to teach those things. Not in the companies, not in a corporation can do those things. Not in the computer can do those things. Not in all those advanced technology machine can do those things because they're supposed to be authentic, supposed to be all made by hand. So that is a very special topic because I wanted the people to realize whether you come from Europe or whether you come from China, whether you come from anywhere in the Pacific, Polynesian, all the Asia and everywhere, we all have a skills. It's called authentic skills. Only you and your country and your village and your cultural background can do those things. Then we call it authentic. We do that, and because we do it in a way, or in a place or an area where it does not give you the full potential for yourself. Sometimes you are getting only so much because it's not recognized and things. But let me tell you, we want to work on authenticity to bring something different altogether, to make a market value of those things, to be able to bring people to start to realize the potential, started to realize that you do have a special skills that no money can buy it. No university can be able to teach those things. So with that, it's a very important. We do a lot of those things. We make them up and we use it for gift of exchange and so forth, right through the community, different programs. But can be marketable and can it make it be successful? I'll take one good example of this and I can speak on that just to give you an idea how authenticity it does work, and it's become a very good marketable and also become very, very successful. Look at also some of the sculptures, people who sculpt and they do all the sculpture design, making images and all that stuff, how much they're worth, and people who are very skillful in that. Some artists, they draw something and they mark their labels on it. That's become a label of authenticity for that market products of the picture or any of those things. And it's become worth 10 times more the price. And after so many years, it's become worth more and more money. Authenticity is a very good thing if we set it very professionally or whatever the case may be or whatever the project can be. But it's knowing how to do it and knowing how to how to market it to make sure that we can be able to get the full benefits of all that to ourselves. So to do that, and we can be able to use that from one country to another, and we can be able to export and import some of those authentic products and be able to start to utilize them and build up marketing and also investment for the minority community to be able to grow and develop and be able to take care of themselves financially. So authenticity is a great thing. It's a good thing that we are looking for a different project at the moment to utilize the ideals of that. You know, under the NAFTA requirements of the NAFTA agreement, through United States and South America, it's part of that is authenticity. It's the things that was made by a disadvantaged community to another country of the disadvantaged community, that they can be able to trade on those things and give them life and give them different future prosperity. And also be protected, because it cannot be duplicated or multi-production by any of those big companies or any of those hungry corporations that want to make billions and billions of dollars and take away all that opportunity from the minority disadvantaged community. So this is why I'm talking about authenticity. If we go back to that area, then we are more protected. If we go to the other advance of technology, then we missed out altogether, because the technology will take over and they speed right through and left us with nothing. And then our people will go back and just leave with just barely nothing and all the time and be hungry and starve for money in any minutes. But if we know that our skills, authenticity is a special skills for those who are not having the opportunity for money, but they can live and survive on those things, and they can do best because they know how to do those things and become a master of those. But if we do not find the right market to make this work, these people will lose their interest, and they cannot be able to utilize that for something to keep them and be able to safeguard them and financially help them. So therefore, we're looking from this point here, and with no authenticity, it's a good thing. Because if we keep thinking of authenticity, don't lose the culture where you come. Don't lose the things that you're skillful with. Don't lose what that you inherit from your parents and from generation to generation. Let us resharpen those things and let us find a market, which I'm going to talk about it on our next program, talk about how the authenticity is going to become a big, huge success in financing of the minority disadvantaged community right throughout the world, in any country or any country right here in America all around. So therefore, there is a lot of good opportunity that we can think of and do it, and authenticity is a great thing. Think about it and talk about that and bring up all the skills that you know that's come from the past and revise them, because it does not take very long for you to bring that skills to you, because that skill is belong to you. It's belong to your family. It's belong to your interest, and you can do better with it because you are going to be happy with it. It's something that you want to inherit. You want to keep it. So it does no time that you can master those things. It doesn't need to go to university to learn those things. It's the things that's passed on from generation to generation. It's the things that pass on from family to family to family. And it's something that we need to have. It's a legacy. It's something that we can be proud of. It's a pride of our hearts and everything else. So therefore, look at those things and think about those things, because it is very important. So we're going to come back and talk about the next program to show you how authenticity is going to fit in to everything that we do, so we can be able to raise the disadvantaged minority up to a different level. Instead of having the richer is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer, we're going to be the richer is still getting richer, but the poor is getting better. So that's what we want to see, being a successful citizen of the United States of America. We'll come back in a minute and we'll talk more. Thank you. Okay, welcome back to our sixth part, number 6 of our program. We talked about authenticity the last time. We talked about how people have to recapture some of their old experience, some of the things they used to master themselves, revise them, refresh them, because here comes something that you're going to find is so interesting, and it's going to fit in to all those capability, to all the things that you're passionate about, the things that come through your line of generation to generation, that now we can put into good use. Because that's how America started from. America started from the cultural values of everything in the beginning, and that's how everybody built from there. And now we now become United States of America with a new era of different developments, which we go with the advance of technology, we go with the fast economy, and so forth and so forth, and knowledge and intelligence and all this mechanical, technical, you name it. But now we kind of wind back a little bit, because I'm sure there is a lot of goodness. Like I said to you before, the richer is getting richer, the poor is getting poorer. So if we're going to continue to push the fast economy and push the fast technology and so much of all that technical, mechanical, whatever you call it, then the people is getting far further away, and some people are still behind. We cannot do that, because if we have too much gap, that is not a good sign. If we have too much gap in one country, that is not a good leader. That's not a good government. You know, the whole things we're going to look at that is bringing the poverty up, is make you a better country, is make you a better government, is make you a good leader. So this is the whole thing's all about, is trying to closing the gap by utilizing some of the multicultural, diverse generations of cultural activities that we have done. Authenticity, bring that in, because that's where we so master those skills naturally. And we know that it is very much in our hearts, and we can make it so successful in no time. So don't try and learn the technology and everything else to go too far ahead, because there's so as many others, and so complicated, it costs money and so forth. Go back and learn your trades. Go back to your heritage. Go back and see what they're good at. Maybe you can turn it a little bit more faster, turn it a little more better. We are in an area where now we can be able to do a far more better, more educated now, but still doing some of those cultural values that will bring a whole different turnaround, and market value is holding because of authenticity, that give you 10 times more than something that made by machine, and something made by hands. It's got a different values, and that's it. I cannot say any more than that. But anyhow, we are coming to something that is going to apply. It's going to make it very much important to coordinate with those things. It's what we call International Cultural Center. International Cultural Center. We are pushing, and we're trying to, hopefully that we get it by 2020, that we open up a new International Cultural Center here in California that is around about 300 acres of land, to use that to divide it into different villages all over the world, that they can build their cultural values in each different villages, and we can be able to share dialects and also exchange, study and learn, and be able to appreciate and the fact of all these things. You see how much is going to happen, how much creative stuff is going to come out, how many millions of people will start to get to know each other, get to understand each other, how much business is going to come out from there. Yet, we'll see. As the time I put this in your mind, you are going to grow with curiosity, with expansion of thinking. Your mind is starting to look, wow, this is how it's going to happen. Because it'll take you a lifetime to go all over the world to see these things. And if you can do it here in California, International Cultural Center, you can learn to know everything and get to understand things in a short time. And then you can appreciate more. And then you can see opportunity. Then you can see how you can help your family, how you can help your country, wherever your parents come from and all that. Because the United States is a diverse melting pot of the world. We come from 4,000 diverse community background to make the United States of America. And guess what? The American economy and everything else was so successful in old days because of what the diverse culture brought into America, and we become successful from there. Okay, let's kind of talk a little bit how we wanted to do things here. If you look at it, how many languages we're going to learn from these cultures, over 100 languages that will bring us to learn more, appreciate more, and we become more important, and we appreciate and respect each other for that part of it. And we look at the historical part, and how many history of country that we're going to learn and understand from those things that give us that opportunity. That's pretty much helping us to understand everything that we do. So it is very important for us to be able to see the cultural values of every country and everything else that we do to help and bring us to this level. So we'll look at the historical, we look at food. Food is going to be a taste of few hundreds of different tastes of food all over the world. How important that is, how exciting that is. They can walk around and they taste a little small portion of 500 dishes in 2 or 3 weeks. You walk out and you appreciate the world. and also make up your mind what country you're going to go to, where you want to go visit next, because everything is authentic over here. Everything you're going to see, from culture, from housing, from normal living to gardening, and goes all to animals and grows into those places. And you can see that my phone is calling me, but I don't like the phone calling me because it's very important to concentrate in our program. So you can see the cultural values and all those things. You know how important that is. And let me talk a little bit and move to another area. Cultural values of those things to happen here in the United States of America, we become the peacemaker of the world. We become the powerful country in the world. We become the smartest country in the world. We become the wealthy country in the world. But when we go out and make peace with the rest of the world, they look at us and they hate us and they so discuss about us. Why? Why is that? Let me wind back a little bit and let's talk about it. Because we do not show cultural values here in America. We call ourselves, we are the world, we are the children, we are the world, whatever we sing about. That's fair enough, that's good. But have we shown that? Every community is running separately and they do their own thing. Looks like nobody wants to know one another. Nobody wants to show that they work together. Everybody's running their own thing. And then the government said, yeah, we do good enough. We are helping the community. We're doing all that. That is not how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to get together and mix and we integrate. We do things together and appreciate, learn about other culture, learn about their language, learn about how to work together, how to do things. And maybe there's a lot of business activities that will go in there. And there's so much and so much and so much. And then we can learn how to help their country and other country. And we can see and appreciate. So if that's going to happen, and we're having a model here in America to show that values, then we know when we go out there and make peace in other countries, they're not going to turn around and swear at us. They're not going to turn around and tell us to get out of there. We are bad people. We are hatred people. They're going to look at us and appreciate the fact that we can see there is a model there to show us that you are working together. This is us, we are you, us and them, we are the same. We are the world. So everything makes sense. Just click and make a puzzle and we can say that. That's what America should have done it a long time ago. I wrote to all the governors in all the states and I explained all this about the cultural center. I wrote to prime minister, presidents, kings all over the world and I explained them the same thing about what I'm talking about now. So if anything is not going to happen here or fall short anywhere, don't blame me. Blame those governments, blame those countries. They don't want to come and be a part of this. But I know there's going to be a whole lot of countries. Let me tell you something. If any leaders out there say that they don't want this, they don't think it's good enough for them, they are not a good leader. They are not looking at their country. They are looking for rich people because a good leader will help the minority. A good leader will help their disadvantaged community. They're going to build something and allow them to grow and allow them to come up. To bring the bottom up, it make you a good leader, make you a good government, make you a good country. The same thing as here in America. And we want to do that trace, export, import for the minority disadvantaged community to a minority disadvantaged community. And they can all work together and start to build themselves and protected by NAFTA. So that part is very clear, and I hope that America see that and should have been done 100 years ago, because once the cultural values die off and United States of America start to come off with a new culture of America, which is called United States, economy, technology, all that, it's now we have to wind back and remember that America grew from the diverse value cultural community. So let me go to another area and explain a little bit more. For other countries out there, they can see the value of the immigration here in America. It was instigated and designed and was built to cater for the people with the cultural values. Because during the 1800 and early 1900, most of the immigration requirements here in America was built around in that area. Specialities. When you talk of specialities, it's not because of being a professor, because not everybody is going to be a professor. Not everybody is going to be a professor. Not everybody is going to be a university student. But we know everybody can have a basic skills of those cultural values. So that's allowing the minority, the bottom, all the way to have that opportunity. Because speciality of those skills, It's never going to be taught in a university. It's not, you have to be a professor. And even professor cannot do the skills of those diverse values, minority cultural community. So you can see that, the immigration and also the part-time work, all that sort of thing, it's available. Education, languages, all that, it's full of it in this area. And people can come here in a legal basis, and visitors and tourism and student exchange to learn different languages, different cultures, and learning about different food and so forth. They allow people to develop restaurants and develop languages and go into education and also go into so many different things. It's come from cultural values. You see, these things, we do not take notice of these things. You know why? Because half of the time we've been educated to look to forward, to go through advance, advance, advance. And we get carried away. It's only a few percentage is going to go, keep advance, advance, and the others will keep falling behind and behind and behind. You know, people have choice. They don't want to be pushed. And some people don't have the mentality or the knowledge to go in and advance with those areas. So it's only a few percentage will move that direction. Most of the percentage, I say most of the percentage, would slowly mark their way up slowly. So this is why cultural center is the most important thing to us, and it's going to mark a whole huge successful and changes all over the world. And I'm telling you, I just, you know, you can think in your mind and go round and round, and you can see how much of that is. I can talk here all week, and I can tell you all this. It's not important. I want to just motivate your minds, and you can start to look at it, and you say, wow, if I do this, this is going to happen. This is what here's how this is going to happen. It's so many. And also from diverse disadvantaged community, they can be able to do all the export, import, helping each other. They can also go to investment, and everybody will move up and be more successful. And that's what we want to do in this world, is to bring the bottom up, not to get the upper part, keep going further and further away from us. And that's what makes everybody so uncomfortable and feel like that we are neglected by a certain government and certain country and also certain people. And we don't want the technology and the knowledge of this era of time to turn around and discriminate the past and the people that are still living in that kind of slow pace. But there is so much opportunity and things that can happen, and also entertain. And maybe the advanced and the fast technology will start to appreciate more, to slow down and enjoy life and be able to see the heritage, the history, and who we are, where we come from, and how proud are we to know that we do have a heritage, that we do have things that how to build everybody in this great country of ours in America, United States. There's a lot of investment is going around there at the moment. There's also a lot of investment is going around here with the people preparing to come in and start doing those things. But we want the government, we want the states and everybody all around, the big government in the world, to invest into it, to be a part of it. When you become a part of it, you're an ownership of this whole project to make things happening, and that will guarantee people to come to America in a legal way without being illegal, because we have 20 million people are illegal at the moment, and our agency is working so hard to bring them in through different ways and means to deal with those things, as we know, the adoption law and all that stuff. But if we can be able to reverse the cycle now and start using the more knowledgeable way of bringing the cultural values and fit into the immigration requirements, so the opportunity is open to any country, and we bring your diverse cultural values here, and then we can develop something that we're going to boost the economy, and America will be benefits from here. There's so many millions of people. Look at Hawaii. A good example of Hawaii, there's a village there, it's called BCC Cultural Center. It's a BCC Cultural Center. It's only formed by 7 islands: Tonga, Samoa, Fiji, New Zealand, Maori, Tahiti, and so many other little islands. 7 islands. And they bring millions of people, 10 millions in so many years that they have bring into these little cultural values here. And it's not only that, but it's brought in a lot of people to work there, and now they become citizens of the United States. Bring a lot of people in to come into school, and they can be able to afford to study and grow and develop, become good citizens, paid off by this cultural center. See how much exchange and values of things that are brought up of this for a small little cultural center over here. We are building something that's about 40 times bigger than that. And it's really bring the whole world into it. How much prosperity, how much resources do you know that is going to go into that? and how much benefits and all this prosperity will bring to every country and everyone who come to study in America, learn hundreds different languages, how much knowledge, intelligence, how much can fast up the technology, how much we can share our knowledge from all over the world, any country, learn the advance of technology in every country because we can be able to speak the language and learn from each other. This is a whole mountain of things. I'm telling you, by winding back to the Council of Youth, everybody thinks we're going backward, but sometimes we go back to pick up the future. We go backward to see the future much more clearer. Anyway, this is the whole thing that we're trying to do in the cultural, and also the entertainment, make us feel good, proud, and appreciate. The fact if I want to go to any part of Europe or anywhere, at least if I go to the Cultural Center, I can see, I can expect what I'm going to run in and see the authenticity of that country. Then the business, the tourism will be boosted in every country because people will go there because they know exactly what they're going to, not to be disappointed because of the things that we show so much in our promotion and marketing and not really showing the real thing. Because here in the Cultural Center will show that and will help the world in every country, and maybe the world will come to be so peaceful and be able to negotiate and talk to each other and help each other because the people has got a lot of connection to do and proud and respect each other, so therefore the government will have to melt down and be able to soften down their standing to see that the people are happy and doing the right things for everyone. Anyway, this is about the Cultural Center and the International Cultural Center, and you know it's going to bring a whole lot of mountains of different things to our diverse community, and here America will be benefit the most out of it. We are the center of the economy in America, and if we do a cultural center over here, and most of the states will be supporting and carry this, because every state there is a disadvantaged minority community in every state. And every governors over there will look down and say, let's assist this to bring our disadvantaged community to have that opportunity. That's the best thing you've ever done for your government. That's the best thing you've ever done for you as a good leader of your state or your government. Anyway, for all the other countries, it's the same thing. Let's work together, let's build these things, and let's open it up. And the Chamber of Commerce here, we including the adult adoption and everything else to bring in to have that opportunity for them, and also for those who are out there in a different country, welcome to America, but come in a proper way and things that you can appreciate and learn more about America and become a better, successful citizen of the United States of America. Till then, we'll come back and talk to you about our last part of our program, and it's pretty much it's about export and import of all that stuff that we're going to talk about. But till then, we'll come back and see you shortly. Welcome back to the Americans Helping America Chamber of Commerce Agency program. And as you know, I just finished talking about the Cultural Center, as we International Cultural Center that we projected to be ready by the year 2020, as we believe as long as the finance and everything else come together, the development should be within the 3-year period, and we should be very close to get everything done within the 5-year period. But anyway, as you know, that is the aim and this is the program. Financially, we believe, we have confidence, everything is going to happen. Because the meaningful of this project and the things it's going to do, it does not take a smart person or a good leader to see those things. And if they don't see it, they must be short-sighted, or maybe a bad hearing, or any of those things that happen to them, or maybe they just don't like America. But anyhow, if we can be able to set up something like this, we know we have a higher percentage that is going to follow what we're doing, and they think that is a good thing, because every good leader looking to take care of their weak people or the minority or disadvantaged community in every country where they are, as a king, president, prime minister, or whatever you call your leadership forum, governors here in America, and so forth. Let's talk about our last topic, and we call it the export and import, made in America, made in USA. Sounds like I've been a corny about this whole thing by putting that in the last part. But you know, in order for the American product to move to a different country, we need to accept what they come from all the other countries. Not through the cooperation NAFTA program they're doing, but through the authenticity of every country. That the people can appreciate what we are exchanging because their product has become something successful to help them direct without a middleman who taking most of the profits out of it. As we all know, profit can be taken away. The shareholders or investors will take all the money away from the people. So it does not help anybody. That's why a lot of things happen in America with the economy, with the companies, failure of all the closing down of business and everything else. So as other countries as well, because most of the corporation build up so many different big companies overseas and taking over and kill some of the local business out there. Anyway, we come back to the export and import and the made in America. It's always fair to import anything from all over the world. And if we do that, they will appreciate if we export American-made products to those countries. And we can do an exchange. And that's how it's always happened. And that's what the NAFTA program was all about, is to exchange with the minority, with the diverse community, giving them that opportunity to exchange, give them an opportunity to build up themselves, become good business people, and also be able to invest and grow and develop. So we have all these programs, and we wanted to make this happening for everybody. So versus the authenticity is a good starting ground, a good point for the people all over the world in those countries with the minorities around the community to use your authenticity products to bring to America. When you bring to America to appreciate when we are going to export American-made products to your country. There are so many ways we are preparing to do at the moment to make sure the product is cheap enough to get into your country without being too expensive, and also having the good product of America, as you know, you can trust is safe, you can trust is a good quality product, you can trust it's got a good history, it's made in America, and also you can trust it's going to help your country and also help us. It's a two-way street. We're talking about two-way street, and that change. And then we appreciate your authenticity, you appreciate our authenticity, because authenticity of America is good American-made product made in USA. When it's made in America, that's authenticity of the American product made here in America. And also the authenticity of your products, they're made by hand for the minority, we can be able to exchange and help that. America is looking at expanding over to the South Pacific, starting from that area at the moment. So we need to see the exchange of values from government to government and from America to the South Pacific and from the South Pacific to America, so that the development of this export-import will start to take place with a lot of interest, and also things that are going to develop in other countries and they can help them to develop and grow more in their own rights. Authenticity is their own rights, not to be overtaken or overpowered by corporation and other money spinners that they out there and they do that. And you can invest in your own rights without being overtaken by the stock markets and all that stuff that we have here. The stock market is killing everybody. Stock market is something they don't care who you are. Is making profit is what they're looking for. And that's what the world is pushing for. That means that we don't respect anybody. We just want to make our profit. And that's all it is. But you don't realize how much humiliation, how much human factors has been affected by those things. Only because we do not see them, but we want to see our little cut, our profit. That's all we mean to. That is not the right way. We have an eternal internal investment for the community to work for themselves, invest from each other, and help each other, and have the full 100% profitable come to benefits for both sides of that. And that's why we're having the cultural center behind it to create all the new waves of looking at business and looking at investments without being squashed by those big corporations. And allowing the minority different community to be able to export. I heard that there is a program called a micro loan, which is all around in the small community, which is good in a local basis, but developing from there, they need to go in and export and import so that their growth or their values can go at least about 10 times more, and they'll allow them to grow, develop it, and much more better. This is like a sustaining survival situation we got with the microloan, but in export import to go out to America country, the whole world is doing business with America. So what's the difference of the disadvantaged minority all over the world to do business with America? That is the best, because I think America is going to appreciate that more. And more about that is more about helping. The value of those things is pretty much standing out on its own right. So therefore, it's going to be a lot of good investment for the minority disadvantaged community to go, and they can export, import. Then the people who started to do things and they started to feel good, and then America will be a mountain of different. We achieve much in export and import. We also achieve much in the economy, and also we achieve much in helping the disadvantaged community all over the world. And that's what we call a powerful country, that helping the disadvantaged community not to go out there and make peace with the firepower, all that stuff. We do it in a better way, a way that we're going to be remember how we can be able to help each disadvantaged community without fighting and having a war. Because those people don't want to fight. They just want to live. They just want to survive. They just want to help their little family. That's all. They'll give anything for that. So if we can touch those markets, if we touch those very precious area and give them that opportunity, how much abundance of blessings, how much of benefits that America is going to reap out of this, instead of going the other way around. The world is going to be threatening. Satan and the devil is going to work everywhere. It doesn't matter. It's going to continue to go. It's how we approach the whole thing. Like I said to you before about talking about the International Council Center. Should have been done a long, long time ago. If we can put a model that can look at us, we are very good people. We are mixed. We help each other. We respect each other. We love each other. But does it show now? My question is, does it show now? How we move to other countries to try and give peace to them? How is that going to help us? We don't have anything to show for. But we call in our singings, we are the world. We are the children. This is singing. This is not action. We need more than that. We need a lot more than that. You can't fool everybody with that. We need to put a model. We need to have activities happen. We need people to come in and work together. And when we see so many things are coming together like this, we feel that we appreciate, learn more. And the more we get into it, the more we can see the world in us, because we are the world, like the song said. But it has to be done in some shape or form that really shows it. And they show America, all the governors of every state, they show they're good government. They're good leaders. And that's what it is. And the President of America is good president, good government. We need to show those things. We cannot just be a peacemaker running around trying to thresh all the countries out there and make them come together and follow what we're doing. That's why we turn around and come back here and everybody point their fingers and curse us with so many things. Why? Because they look at us, all we do is threatening every country, doing all this, but it doesn't show anything that we do work together with all the people of the world. We need to do that. It's been a long time overdue for that kind of thing. Anyway, well, for me, and this is Dr. Hillerman Hansen, I just want to give you all the version of those things. It's so important for me that we should understand it. Let's move back a step and let's look around and see how we can take it. Let's inherit our history. Let's go in and check all the things that we do and bring our family values, our market values, all the things that we know. This is advance of technology, like I said, can only take a few, but leave a lot behind. And we don't want to live in that kind of era of time that only a few will survive out there, and the richer is getting richer and the poor is getting poorer. And that is not the strategy, and that's not good government, and that is not good leader. This is Dr. Hillerman Hansen. Thank you very much for listening to me. Maybe I'll see you within a month and we can talk more about some other products and things that we can be able to repeat and revise some things that will bring more more value of things and more advance of things that will help us with our minority community, within our family, within our state, within our country, and everybody will be happy ever after. And thank you very much. I'll see you around. Bye for now.